I be playing basketball with the president, dunking on his delegates, then I compliment him on his political etiquette.
What is the most important issue confronting the American people in this election campaign? There's no question about the answer that I have found in traveling all over this nation. Above everything else, the American people want leaders who will keep the peace without surrender for America and the world. Henry Cabot Lodge and I have had the opportunity of serving with President Eisenhower in this cause for the last 7.5 years. We both know Mr. Khrushchev. We have sat opposite the conference table with him.
Everyone is voting for Jack, 'cause he's got what all the rest lack. Everyone wants to back Jack. Jack is on the right track, 'cause he's got high hopes.
I don't believe in big government, but I believe in effective governmental action. And I think that's the only way that the United States is going to maintain its freedom. It's the only way that we're going to move ahead. I think we can do a better job. I think we're going to have to do a better job if we are going to meet the responsibilities which time and events have placed upon us. We cannot turn the job over to anyone else. If the United States fails, then the whole cause of freedom fails. And I think it depends in great measure on what we do here in this country. The reason Franklin Roosevelt was a good neighbor in Latin America was because he was a good neighbor in the United States. Because they felt that the American society was moving again. I want us to recapture that image. I want people in Latin America and Africa and Asia to start to look to America, to see how we're doing things, to wonder what the President of the United States is doing, and not to look at Khrushchev or look at the Chinese communists. That is the obligation upon our generation. In 1933, Franklin Roosevelt said in his inaugural that this generation of Americans has a rendezvous with destiny. I think our generation of Americans has the same rendezvous. The question now is, can freedom be maintained under the most severe attack it has ever known? I think it can be. And I think in the final analysis, it depends upon what we do here. I think it's time America started moving again.
And now the opening statement by Vice President Richard M. Nixon.
Memorizing presidents is gonna take some effort. Start with George Washington, Adams, and Thomas Jefferson, then James Madison and James Monroe, John Quincy Adams like his father before. Next up, we got some interesting folks named Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, and Polk. The next 4 presidents that we'll examine are Taylor, Fillmore, Pearson, Buchanan. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. We got Johnson, Grant, and Rutherford Hayes, James Garfield, Chester Arthur, Cleveland, and Harrison. Let's keep going farther. Next up, we got Cleveland again, then McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, and Wilson. The next 4, yeah, you know who they are. It's Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, and FDR. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. No presidents are from Wisconsin, not Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, or Johnson. We're getting near the end, it's not harder. It's Nixon, Ford, and Jimmy Carter. Last few, we're almost done. We got Reagan, Bush, Clinton, and Bush the son. Obama is in the White House now, so hail to the chief and stand up proud. 44 presidents, White House residents from the Revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents presidents, from the revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents, from the revolution to the age of the internet. 44 presidents, White House residents, from the revolution to the age of the internet. Internet, 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 internet.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Everyone is voting for Jack, 'cause he's got what all the rest lack. Everyone wants to back Jack. Jack is on the right track, 'cause he's got high hopes. He's got high hopes. 1960's the year for his high hopes. Come on and vote for Kennedy. Vote for Kennedy. Keep America strong. Kennedy, he just keeps rolling up. Kennedy, he just keeps rolling up. Kennedy, he just keeps rolling along. Vote for Kennedy.
44 presidents, White House residents, from the revolution to the